right. Hello, everyone. I am Janelle Friesen, the Public Information Officer with the Unified Government Public Health Department. It is March 11th. This is our weekly COVID-19 update. And I am here once again with Julianne and Dr. C. Do you want to say hello?
Hi there, Julianne Van Loo, the Director with the Health Department.
Hi, everybody. I'm Erin Corriveau, your Deputy Health Officer at the Public Health Department.
All right, so we have a couple things to talk about today. As I think a lot of people have heard, but maybe not everyone yet, we have started doing walk-in vaccinations for people who are 65 and older in Wyandotte County. And then we also want to talk about, earlier this week, we heard that there's some new guidance from the CDC about protocols for people who are fully vaccinated. So let's start off with the local vaccines for seniors in Wyandotte County. Julianne, do you want to give a quick overview of who can access that and how it works?
Absolutely. We are thrilled, and all of our staff and volunteers at all three of our sites are just very excited this morning to get to move in this direction. So for the first time, we're able to allow anyone who is a Wyandotte County resident and 65 years of age or older to walk in at any of our three vaccination sites without having an appointment. So they can do that between 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. Monday through Friday at any of our three sites, and those are the former Best Buy site out at the Legends at 10,500 Parallel, our former Kmart site in the center part of our community at 7836 State Avenue, and our newest site that we launched this week, the National Guard Armory, located at 100 South 20th Street. So all three of those sites, individuals age 65 and older can walk into 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. We do need those folks to be able to show us that they live here and that they're older than 65. So if you can bring a piece of mail with your address that shows you're a Wyandotte County resident and some form of ID, like a birth certificate or driver's license or whatever it is you have that can show us what your date of birth is, so we know you're older than 65, that's your ticket to ride to get into the door, and that's all we need for documentation. So our goal in doing this is to drive up the amount of Wyandotte County residents who we're vaccinating, and especially these 65 and older folks who we know are more vulnerable to COVID morbidity and mortality, and to really try to reduce the barriers to those folks accessing these vaccines. So it's important for folks to know, if you're in this category, you do not need to go online and fill out our vaccine interest form or make any calls in advance. You can just show up on site, again, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Now, if you do need help getting to our site and back home, if transportation is a barrier for you, we ask you to please call 311 and they can provide free transportation from your home to our vaccine site and back home again. So we don't want transportation to be what stops people from getting a vaccine. Please give a call to 311 and we'll make sure you get taken care of.
All right, great, Julianne. Thank you so much. And I want to remind folks that if you are not 65 and older, but you live in Wyandotte County and you're still wanting to sign up, you can go fill out our vaccine interest form at wycovaccines.org or by calling 311. And then we'll have you on the list. So when it's your turn to get vaccinated and we have the adequate supply to do that, we'll contact you to set that up. So well, let's keep moving along. Dr. C, let's talk about this new guidance from the CDC. It talks about new guidance for people who are fully vaccinated. So I guess the first question is, what does it mean to be fully vaccinated?
Thanks, Janelle. That's a good question. So remember that there are three approved vaccines that we have at our health department. So the first two vaccines that were approved was the Pfizer vaccine and the Moderna vaccine, both of which require 2 shots in the series to be fully vaccinated. And only after 2 weeks after the second shot are you fully vaccinated. That's when we consider you fully vaccinated. Now, the Johnson & Johnson shot is our newest one, and that's just a 1 shot. Okay, after that 1 shot, 2 weeks after, you're good to go. So again, just remember the 2-week rule. So 2 weeks after you're fully, you've had your second shot of the Moderna or Pfizer, you're good to go. And 2 weeks after the 1 shot of the Johnson & Johnson, you're good to go. Now, it's interesting. I'll just add this, Janelle. You know, we know that all 3 of the COVID-19 vaccines are really effective at protecting you from getting sick. But what we don't know, what we're still learning about, is how effective they are at decreasing the spread of COVID-19. And that's a really important point. So we think that even though you might not be sick, if exposed to COVID and you're fully vaccinated, you may still be able to carry an asymptomatic version of that COVID and give it to other people. And so that's why we're going to encourage you to take the CDC's guidance carefully. And I know, Janelle, you want to talk about that, but I'll throw it back to you quickly.
Sure. Well, thanks for sort of prefacing that. So it's not just go back to normal, whatever that means now. It is, we still have some protections that we need to do, but what does that mean for someone who is fully vaccinated now in terms of masks, distancing, gatherings, that sort of thing?
Well, the CDC guidance says that, you know, 2 vaccinated people or a small group of fully vaccinated people can actually visit indoors without physical distancing and without masks at this point. Now, the caution that I would say is, again, if you live in a household with other people who are maybe not vaccinated yet, you have to remember that if you get together with other people who are maybe even vaccinated but unmasked, you know, you could get a version of COVID that's asymptomatic, and you could come back home and then inadvertently spread that to your family. So what we recommend at the health department is to take the new CDC guidance carefully. You know, if you're going to visit with other vaccinated people without a mask, make sure that you understand their bubble and that you're careful about your pandemic bubble too. Who are you going to go then and be within your household? Have those people been fully vaccinated? It's actually safest, I think, to take your mask off with others when everybody else in your household is fully vaccinated. So again, we really recommend that you wear your mask when you're out in public at all times. We don't think that it's safe or it's okay to just stop social distancing and to take your mask off. It's probably okay and safe with some people who are well known to you to visit in small groups if everybody in the group is fully vaccinated, and you can probably take your mask off at that point in time and hug again and all those nice things. But again, we really need to be careful here. One other reason we need to be careful is we're seeing that these variants are starting to circulate in our community. And we don't fully understand how well all of our vaccines protect against the variant. We're learning a lot about this. I think we have most information on the Pfizer vaccine. It seems to be pretty effective against the variants, but we don't know about the other vaccines fully at this point in time. So, you know, masks are really effective. It's an easy way of preventing spread of the disease. So we're just encouraging to keep your mask on a bit longer here and be careful when you visit with others without a mask.
All right, thanks so much. That's good information to know, because slowly but surely we will have more of our community vaccinated. So it's going to, you know, be more relevant to a lot more folks in our area, and we want to keep increasing that number. So I want to remind folks once again that if you live anywhere in Wyandotte County and you are 65 years old or older, that you can walk into any one of our 3 vaccination sites, the one that's at the Armory, the one at the former Kmart, or the one at the former Best Buy, between 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. Monday through Friday. Just bring something that shows your age and your address. All right, thanks so much. We'll see everyone next week.